Hey everyone, today we're going to connect the dots. We're talking about the big things happening out there in the world, what's going on right here at home, and, most importantly, how all of it ties back to you. So let's jump right in.
So, have you ever really thought about this? You see something on the news happening halfway across the globe and think, what does that have to do with me? Well, it turns out a lot more than you might think. Our world is so connected now that what happens over there can totally create ripples that reach us right here. Okay, so to get our heads around this, let's zoom all the way out. We're going to start with the big picture. What's happening in the world?
So there's a term for all this stuff, current affairs. It sounds kind of formal, right? But really, it just means all the important things happening right now. In politics, around the world, it's basically the live unfolding story of our planet.
Okay, let's take a real-world example. You've probably heard about the war in Ukraine. Now, that might feel like it's happening a million miles away, but its effects, well, they're felt all over the place. It's a huge reminder of just how connected we all are.
And that can lead to something you definitely notice, rising prices. So you might be asking, how does that work? Well, both of those countries are massive suppliers of stuff like grain for food and fuel. When there's a war, it messes up those supplies. That makes it more expensive to make food and get things from place to place. And yeah, that's why you might see prices going up at the store.
And then there's another massive global issue, climate change. This is one that touches literally every single person on the planet. We're talking about more floods, crazy heat, and bigger storms. It's not just one country's problem. It's a challenge we all have to figure out together.
All right, so keeping those big global things in mind, let's zoom in a little. Let's talk about Pakistan on the world stage. How does our country connect with everyone else?
Well, one of the biggest relationships to know about is the one between Pakistan and China. They're great friends. And this isn't just about saying hello over the fence. We're talking about a really deep partnership. They work together on some absolutely huge projects.
And the biggest one of all is probably CPEC. That stands for the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. The easiest way to think about it is like they're building this giant superhighway for opportunity. First, you build roads and bridges to connect everything. Then, you create power plants to provide energy for everyone. And what happens when you do all that? Yep, it brings a ton of new jobs for people.
Now, being on the world stage is also about your neighbors, right? Just look at the situation in Afghanistan. It's a country dealing with a lot of challenges. And since Pakistan is right next door, it plays a really important part by helping with trade and by welcoming people who need a safe place to go.
Then there's the long-standing issue of Kashmir. It's a really important topic. And from Pakistan's perspective, the main goal has always been to try and find peaceful solutions for all the people who live there.
So, with all these big issues, where do countries even go to talk about them? Well, a major place is the United Nations. Honestly, just think of it like a global club. Pretty much every country is a member, and it's where they all meet up to try and solve problems and work towards peace and safety for everyone.
All right, we've been looking outward, at the world. Now let's bring our focus right back home. Time for a look inside Pakistan, at both the progress and the problems.
And let's start with some really good news. Pakistan is absolutely growing when it comes to digital work. We're talking about more people using technology, learning IT skills. It's a huge, booming area. It's really, really exciting to see.
But that brings up a really important question. What powers all of our gadgets and lights? I mean, all those computers and phones and everything, they don't run on magic, right?
And that's where we hit one of our big challenges at home, energy problems. Sometimes the electricity and gas can be in short supply, or it can get pretty expensive. It's a tough problem that can really affect everyone's day.
Okay, so when you hear about these huge problems, it can feel like, whoa, what can I possibly do? But here's the thing, you can actually help. Let's talk about your part in the story.
Seriously, it's all about small actions that have a big impact. Things like planting trees, saving water, or just remembering to turn off the lights when you leave a room. It might not seem like much, but when millions of us do it, it adds up to something huge.
But you know what the most important thing is? Just stay informed. Knowing what's going on in the world is like a superpower. I'm not kidding. It helps you understand things and be part of the solution.
So think about it. The world is always changing. And you're a part of that story. The big question we want to leave you with is, what part will you play in shaping it?